What you guys got, another video here for you. Windows is finally fixing this huge problem that it's had for quite a while, and it's to do with your driver updates. Now, driver updates are important to the system. Without driver updates, you're going to end up with issues like blue screens, crashing, and other problems. Now, Microsoft, when they update their operating system, I've always had issues with drivers, and it always causes a problem, especially with graphics card drivers, network drivers, and many other drivers that Microsoft normally supply through Windows updates. And you can see them here in Device Manager. These are all your device drivers. Now, a piece of hardware needs a driver to run correctly. So without these working correctly, you're going to end up with problems. And this is where the biggest problem for Microsoft has been happening. Now, Microsoft have already introduced the paused updates indefinitely feature for Windows 11, but now they've created a brand new cloud initiated driver recovery feature, which can replace a faulty driver that is installed on the PC, which was previously working before you installed a Windows update. Now, Microsoft have been working with their hardware partners, and this should start gradually rolling out during September. Now, if you do run into an issue during the installation of drivers during a Windows update process, unfortunately, right now as it stands, we have to manually roll back that driver, or hardware vendors have to publish a brand new workaround for any problems that have happened during the Windows update process, where a driver has caused a blue screen of death or maybe caused another issue. So during this update phase, you'll normally not notice that drivers are actually coming down in the background and being installed on your PC. And this is why a lot of people like to disable that feature in Windows to have control over what gets installed on their system. Because especially video drivers or graphics drivers, these have been plaguing people with issues once the drivers come down through Windows updates. And these can sometimes cause a blue screen of death, looking something like this, where you would end up with a major issue. And if you're just an average guy or an average woman that doesn't know how to fix computers, this can be an absolute nightmare, especially all you've done is rolled out an update through Windows, and now you're getting an issue like a blue screen or some sort of other issue. So Microsoft are trying to fix the known issues that they've had with Windows 11 by introducing this new feature. And hopefully this feature is going to work in a way where we can recover it. And I'll show you the actual blog in a second where it talks about this new feature. Now, one of the things that a lot of people like to do is disable the device installation by going into the device installation settings and turning this to basically off. And this tells Microsoft that you don't want them to mess around with your device drivers and you prefer to do it yourself by going to the manufacturer's website and downloading drivers from there and installing them on your PC manually. But if you allow Microsoft to do it, it basically takes away all of that pain from having to go there and download all of the drivers, because Microsoft will push these out through their Windows updates. And hopefully errors with this particular driver is going to be a thing of the past, where NVIDIA drivers will normally fail because they're outdated or they've got a bug in them or whatever it is. It doesn't play well with the update when Microsoft are pushing it out. So this article here, which goes into great detail about the cloud initiation driver recovery option for Windows updates. And this is part of Microsoft's ongoing commitment to improve Windows quality and reliability, where they're introducing cloud initiation driver recovery, a new compatibility that is potentially rolls back the problematic drivers delivered through Windows updates. So when a driver is identified as having a quality issue during their shipment room elevation process, Microsoft can now initiate a recovery action from the cloud, replacing the problematic driver on the affected device without requiring a manual intervention from the user or the hardware partner. So some of the key points of this new feature when it's rolled out in September is recovery is initiated by Microsoft when a driver publishing request is rejected for quality reasons during the shipment elevation. Also, the recovery action replaces a problematic driver with a previously installed version of the next best version available on Windows updates on the affected device. Also, devices where a driver shipment room approved driver cannot be located will not attempt a cloud initiated driver recovery. A recovery is delivered through the existing Windows Update infrastructure, and no new client, agent or partner tooling is required. Also, partners are not required to take any action. Microsoft handles the recovery end to end. This means they don't have to reach out to hardware manufacturers for a driver or for a workaround for this issue, because it should be already in place on the Microsoft system called Cloud Initiated Driver Recovery. And there's a bit of information about how it all works, where the driver is flagged in the shipment room. A driver previously published to Windows updates is identified as having quality issues through the driver shipment elevation process. And then the recovery is then initiated using their cloud initiated driver recovery. And this recovery request is created from the driver shipment room, targeting a specific driver and its associated shipping labels. And then the rollback instructions delivered via Windows updates. The Windows update pipeline delivers the rollback instructions to affected devices, confirming an approved driver is available, then uninstalling the rejected driver. So all in all, it sounds great on paper, but hopefully this works in practice, because Microsoft need to get a grip with this problem, and hopefully this will be the end of major issues through Windows updates. And they go on to say no action is required from partners because the cloud initiated driver recovery is a Microsoft managed capability. Well, we all know what Microsoft managed capability is. It's normally failed updates. So hopefully that's a thing of the past. And there's some information on there about what this means for their partners, and this goes into great detail there about they will be notified through the existing shipment room communication channels and so on. But you can read this whole article. There's some facts on there as well about questions and answers that you might have, and it goes into great detail about answering all them. I'm not going to read through all of those, but all in all, I do think this is a step in the right direction. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. My name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Just want to say a quick shout out to all my YouTube members who join my YouTube members group. I really do appreciate the support, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.